Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, it seems like self-awareness is such a hard thing to accomplish. That's because of the ego that we have. I think it's because of lack of intelligence that some of them might have, because we have self-awareness, you and I. Anyway, so what am I talking about here? It's hard to do it like this. It's hard to start from an idea and look around and grab only the things that support your idea or your narrative. You're going to ignore things that do not fit your narrative, and people like me are going to look at this and say, what are you talking about? How did you reach this conclusion? That it's against this denies this has questions about this challenges this. But this is how these guys are doing. They come with, I think that's how they write the articles. Let's say Gigi is bad. Okay, Gigi is bad. Okay, Gigi is bad. What did he do? Oh, this doesn't fit. No, this fit. Okay, this doesn't fit. Okay, fits. Okay, and then okay, now I got your article or the policy. That's not how we find the truth. It's not. That's not accurate. You're just a hack. Anyway, so listen to this. Listen. I'm going to provide you with two articles, and the two articles are going to tell us. One is gonna negate the other one, but this is the one that we are supposed to venerate. It's from the Insider, Jake Epstein, from Monday, January 30th. Russia's war in Ukraine backfired by uniting NATO, even as cracks emerged over nearly a year of fighting. So there are some cracks a little bit, but they united NATO. Do I need to go over how many threats, how much pressure was made on countries to get united? A lot of this idea of they are united, it's false. It's a mirage. It's a make-believe. It's a delusional idea. I can mention a lot of countries that were dragged into this. Dragged. One of them is Germany. And Germany is not Wizard Romania, it's Germany. That's one. Neither France wanted to get in like, okay, let's go, like the guys were at the First World War. Remember how they were going to the front in the First World War? Singing, happy, they're gonna settle scores. And then how many people died? And other people were, okay, yeah, all right. Okay, so, and drawing the lines of Europe again. So these guys are just delusional. I can give you if you want. So we can go, for instance, with Germany. France did not go. Spain is, I don't know where Spain is. Portugal is somewhere over there. We got Austria. We got Hungary. I mean, there are some states that are really kept their mouth shut, were dragged along under this little perk. You join by giving them your old weapons, and we're gonna give you new weapons, and you're gonna pay for it. Okay, the guys in charge said. So let's read this article that tells us that actually when Putin invaded, right? Let's maybe put the article too. When Putin invaded Ukraine, he miscalculated the response from Western countries. I agree with that. I think he miscalculated how vassal, to the degree of vassality certain states showed or are eager to go, or under the how do you call it, the threat, the, I don't know, lack of independence and sovereignty, political sovereignty certain countries showed, I think, and lack of courage. NATO has been largely correct in its response to, if you take NATO, just 2 states, well, maybe let's say 5, and I will tell you the 5. United States, Eager Beaver, I mean, he's the leader. Then the Eager Beaver, UK. Then you got the non-important 3 states of the Baltic states. Total population about 5 million people. Military unimportant, economy unimportant. So, but anyway, they're big mouths. They were Eager Beavers right there. And you got Poland, of course. So these were what? Baltic states 3, Poland 4, Great Britain 5, United States 6, right? 6 states. These were the initial, yes, let's do it. Any other ones? Yeah, you can say Czech Republic, I gotta go. Slovakia, I gotta go. Germany was really beaten to a pulp to join. France again, remember Macron? And you got the Nordic states again. Oh, Jesus Christ. Maybe except Finland with a tiny dancer over there. Remember the tiny dancer, the prime minister? Maybe she, but she's not part of NATO yet. And it seems like Erdogan likes her, so she might go and talk to it. All right, but some cracks have also emerged within the alliance. Correct. It says NATO has, of course, had its problems in the past. A few years before Russia invaded Ukraine, for instance, French President Emmanuel Macron sharply criticized NATO, blah, blah, blah. Not that. That's unimportant. He's back in business. But let's go back to another article that kind of negates this and shows us who's who, what's what. Comes from Ukrainska Pravda, and Austria and Hungary agree not to supply weapons to Ukraine. I think this is a big crack. You can say, well, what are they about Austria and Hungary? That's unimportant. I think 10 million and 10 million or something like this. I think they have population. Austria, I think it's 11. Hungary, 9, 10, something like unimportant. Oh, you can make that claim, but still, if you add the 5 million of the 3 states I mentioned, then you can't ignore these ones. So you gotta count them. And these were clearly against it. Look here, Austria and Hungary agree not to supply weapons to Ukraine. 31st of January, this is, as I said, Ukrainska Pravda, not good. Austria and Hungary have agreed not to send weapons to Ukraine. Austrian Defense Minister Claudia Tenner. We got another woman as the defense minister. Very good, congratulations. We had, what's her name? I can't remember the name. Lambrecht used to be the German. Congratulations to you too. And it was another one that I can't remember at the moment. I made a video and it's great. It's fantastic. I hope they know how to hold a paper and discuss certain things. I was about to say something else. Not that, but something else. So, this Defense Minister Claudia Tenner and her Hungarian counterpart Christoph Szalai Bobrovnici. Bobrovnici. This is Hungarian? Christoph. Said at a meeting in Budapest, emphasizing their close cooperation. During a joint press conference, the ministries said that the position of Austria and Hungary on the war in Ukraine is clear, and both countries are not sending weapons to the conflict zone to prevent further escalation. End quote. Christoph Szalai, the same name? I pronounce it differently. Szalai, okay. Szalai Bobrovnici. Anyway, said that Hungary will be, and I'm quoting, will be on the side of peace, end quote, by providing humanitarian assistance to refugees affected by the war. That's good. And I'm quoting again, close cooperation will be most important because we live in a dangerous time, end quote, he said. According to Tanner, the biggest danger is that the war could spread to Europe, and it will not only be a conventional war, but also an interaction with hybrid warfare and increased migration in general. It's okay, United States is far away, and Great Britain is also far away, so they dragged you in, and you deal with shit. Bravo, bravo. Like Shere Khan in the Jungle Book. Yeah, the original Jungle Book, not the garbage that's made nowadays. And I'm quoting, the consequences are felt not only in Austria, but also in Hungary. After all, the routes run through our neighboring country to us, end quote, Tanner said. Last year, the number of shelter applications in Austria tripled to 108,490 applications, making it the EU country with the sharpest increase overall. Meanwhile, Hungary registered the fewest applications, only 46. Is that because of the wall they have? The fence. Tanner did not mention the fact that Hungary refuses to register shelter seekers, contrary to EU law. That's very bad. Bad boy, bad boy. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban outlined his position on the current situation of the Russian-Ukrainian war at a meeting with journalists in Budapest, from which it follows that he does not believe in the victory of Ukraine and believes that it is gradually turning into an unmanageable ruin, like Afghanistan. After that, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine summoned the Hungarian ambassador for an explanation. And probably he's got the same thing that, what's his name, Erdogan, and not Erdogan, Jesus Christ, Erdogan, I stayed with, with Erdogan, Orban. They're Turkic people anyway, both of them. So, anyway, not the same people, but my bad. So here we have the big unity of NATO. Let me tell you how I see NATO. This is just my interpretation of what I got to know through experience, knowledge by literature, and observation through foreign events. You got one NATO, one boss. That's the United States of America. That's NATO. That's NATO. But it needs strategic points, and it needs weasels to show unity number. Because if you do it by yourself, you can be, people can point fingers at you and say, hey, how come you think you're you're right all the time, and you can do this by yourself? But having a coalition, you can say, yeah, I'm not the only one. See, I got to say something, say something. Okay, yeah. See, we got at least two here. And you grab them by the little balls, and they're gonna squeak however you want them to squeak. So that's NATO. NATO only strategically, to keep peace in Europe. That's the goal. And a defensive alliance. Again, let me take my violin and play you some, I don't know, Vivaldi or something. So here you have it. This is how it is, NATO. And there are states, there are members, and they do whatever United States tells them to. I've never heard, let's say, Germany questioning United States in anything, any decision in NATO. France sometimes did this, but got smacked. I'm not talking about General de Gaulle. I'm talking about nowadays, in the past, 10 years. Yeah, Macron wanted to say something, but nobody cared about him. But any other country, Great Britain, all other countries in NATO, they do not question United States, or dare to tell them something. United States tells everybody what to do, how to do, when to do, and to receive troops here, to get weapons here, to get this, to get that. Have you heard about, Polish, 5 divisions of tanks in California? I haven't. To defend the western flank of NATO? I never heard. Have you heard about, German military bases in Oregon? I've never heard. Or, Canada? No. But Canadian troops or American troops are in Poland, are in Romania, because they have to defend against Russia. Hey, but you got China over there. How come NATO can manage it against China, but you have to have all this infrastructure in Europe? That's why it kind of like makes me ask questions. How in the hell this NATO is like they say it is? Well, because it's a North Atlantic organization. Okay, North Atlantic organization, but still, look over there. What about the Western Front? The Western, front of NATO, defended only by Canada, United States. Can they do it? Really? Alaska is good to go next to Russia. I haven't heard any Romanian troops in Alaska, in Anchorage, or in one of those islands over there. No, right? I never in Kodiak, where the bears are. No, some of them anyway. The biggest bears, brown bears, Kodiak, grizzly bears. Yeah. Have you heard Romanians being deployed over there now? Why? Because they're afraid of bears. Yeah. Anyway, so this is how NATO is. NATO is one country, and it hides behind number that it creates. Everybody will do what these guys are telling, and if you don't, you're gonna pay in a different way. Like Hungary is gonna pay in a different way. Austria is gonna pay in a different way. Not now, maybe, but in the future. Now they say we're not going to send this, we're not going to send that. United States let them do that because it's all right. We got all the other wizards around, and these are just bad countries. You don't have to always be right about everything. You have to be most of the time right about most of things. You let a little bit of dissent so it appears like you are in a, it doesn't appear to be like a dictatorship, if you know what I mean. You leave some controlled dissent. Even in Romania, there was some controlled, in a communist Romania, it was some controlled dissent when you have someone saying something and then everything, another guy was coming in. Supposedly they had an argument back and forth, but it was all controlled. And eventually the government, the Communist Party won, and the idea of communism won, and the wizard was like ashamed because he dared to challenge the paradigm. So same here. You let them be. Austria and Hungary say this, because after all you win anyway. And you let us see, I'm not a dictator. It's a free will right here. I mean, we're all equal in NATO. Yeah, okay. So, thank you very much for being with me again today. Austria and Hungary, maybe they're going to form again the dual monarchy. And they're going to want all the territories attached to that. No, Poland is getting armed to start doing that pretty soon, I guess. It already made a lot of orders, placed a lot of orders to the Americans with Abrams 1 tanks, with HIMARS, and the numbers are in hundreds, not in tens. 2 digits, 3 digits. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.